Now, we're having a bit of a look back, aren't we, as this is the last briefing of the year. And we've been looking at some of the big issues, not least of all COP26, only a couple of months ago. Seems like it may well have been a lifetime ago. But it was a significant moment in Glasgow in November, with world leaders stating that the summit was the last chance to prevent catastrophic climate change. We're asking the question, was COP26 a success or a failure? And joining me to discuss this is Simon West of the World Forest Organization and Harry Wilkinson, Head of Policy at Net Zero Watch. A very good afternoon to both of you, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. I think, first of all, let's start with you, Simon. What did you make of what happened at COP26? Was it a big success from your point of view?
Success. I think there were successes. The fact that an agreement was reached was a very good thing. The issue is that the agreement was very much watered down from what everybody would have liked to have seen. So, no, it wasn't a success in those terms. I think we would have loved to have seen the government specifically mention fossil fuels in a bid to get to net zero, to reduce them to zero, not just to stop supporting them with uneconomic finances, which I think was it was a very poor statement. We would have loved it to be much stronger than that.
What do you make of this in many regards? That announcement on, as you say, not necessarily committing to net zero, and Harry, that's something that you guys are focused on. That commitment is decades down the line. Many people were calling for action in the years to come. Harry?
Oh, that's me. Well, I would agree that COP26 wasn't a success, but I'm afraid for quite different reasons. I think what we saw was a lot of pledge making that was quite out of touch with the reality of what can be delivered. And at the end of the conference, what we saw was a strange debate going on about whether we should phase out coal or phase down coal. And the UK president and many of the parties involved were very keen to be able to say we're going to phase out coal, but they were unable to secure that commitment. With China and India, I think, recognizing the reality that actually that wasn't going to be possible. We would still need to rely on fossil fuels for many decades to come. And so there was a disconnect between the fantasy and the reality. And therefore, we saw Alok Sharma, unfortunately, crying at the end of the conference, I think recognizing that he hadn't quite got what he was hoping for.
But in some ways, Harry, this is a kind of incremental process, isn't it, to a degree? And there is a sense that kind of the public mood or public opinion on the issue of climate change has changed quite dramatically over the last 12 months, certainly here in the UK.
Well, the government has just assumed that everyone is with it on its net zero agenda. But we've just released some polling today here at Net Zero Watch, which actually said 70% of people were concerned about the financial impact of rising energy prices at Christmas this year. 58% said they were not willing to actually pay any more in taxes to support net zero. And 65% said they hadn't been given enough of a say on net zero. So actually, I think that's really going to be tested. As we see energy prices skyrocket, people will really question whether the government's priority should be on net zero or whether it should be on actually getting bills down, protecting struggling families who will really find it very hard to pay these increased bills.
Simon, just finally for you, you said it wasn't an absolute success, COP26. Looking ahead, there's going to be a COP27, isn't there? How long is this process going to take where someone like you would be happy with the outcome?
I think that there are going to be lots more COPs, and they're going to continue talking the way they are. For me, the big takeaway from COP26 is that governments are not going to do it for us. We have to educate people to have their own choices and to make the right choices for the planet. And yeah, I absolutely agree that energy bills have skyrocketed. Harry, you're right. It is a major concern for people. And I personally think the way to tackle that that is to have far more renewable energy, to have far more diverse energy systems, not to be reliant on gas coming from Russia, but to generate our own electricity, to move wherever we can towards electric heating. As far as we can do that, it's very difficult to replace a gas boiler with an air source heat pump, but we can do it if we have the political will, if we have the support.
Okay, Simon and Harry, appreciate your time. Merry Christmas to you both.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Let's stay warm.
Merry Christmas
as well.
back to you.
Take care. Thanks very much.